we, at the time where we were working on our open call for our Art and Mind series, and we were like, okay, we have to do some shifting. We had it more focused on Black women, and we were like, okay, let's open it to Black, Indigenous, a woman of color, you know, opening it more to women of color in general, and femme expressing creatives of color to submit. And through that shifting and stuff, and we looked more at disability and accessibility, we were like, wow, masking is a access issue, because it makes it so people who are high risk can't go into certain spaces. And when masking became a thing, it made it so immunocompromised people who were homebound, could finally come out of their homes, you know, when they had the energy to, and be like, well, I could go to this event, I can go to this doctor's appointment, feel safer, I could go to this concert, whatever, right? So as we're hearing these stories, and as we were networking, we connected to NAACP Manchester, because we're in New Hampshire. And we were like, let's present some stories, because maybe this is a way that we could advocate. Because before, we were just going to talk about our art and what we're doing. And so we put out this call a couple days before May 11th, when everything was supposed to end. And we said, hey, we're talking to the NAACP. We're a Black-owned project. We're immunocompromised. We have chronic health issues. We want to hear your stories. Why do you think it's important to have medical professionals wear masks when they interact with you? Why do you think it's important to still have masked events? So then, you know, you're not homebound, like, or virtual events, right? Or hybrid events. And so within like 5 or 6 days, we got 23 stories. And we jumped from like 150 or so followers, or 250 or something, to like 400 within a month. And now we're almost about to hit like 500. And we're like, wait, where did all these people come from? Because we realized we didn't really have a disability audience. Even though we were talking about this disability, we didn't have a disabled audience mostly. We had some. And once we opened up and said, this is our experience, we want people to feel less alone, everyone's like, oh my God. And especially because we're like, oh, Black people talking about this? Like, they didn't even know that there were people of color, Black people, Black women, who were talking about disability from this perspective of invisible disability. And so people started messaging us, like, I'm so glad I found you guys. I love you guys. I love what you're doing. I felt so alone. I have lost my family. I've lost this and that. I have been able to perform as a musician. I can't do my poetry. I can't go into art galleries because there's access issues. And on top of that, the masking's going away. So we're hearing all these stories, and we got to present it to the person who's in charge of the health committee at NAACP, who's still masked and is still cautious, because they have family who's at risk. And now we have been able to have a correspondence with them, trying to figure out, okay, what can we do to help with their program? And still, it's very slow, but we're finding ways and having those talks. And now we are able to eventually, work on our sponsors, Nancy Queerly and Brain Arts Org, and talk about, well, accessibility and masked events, and understanding the intersections of inclusivity isn't just having diversity in race and gender and things like that. It's about disability, understanding that disability is multifaceted, that access needs are not just limited to ASL and wheelchairs, but it's also making sure it's safe for those who are immunocompromised, who are recovering from cancer, are going through cancer, have chronic illness, autoimmune disease, and that they can feel safe going to a place too that has good ventilation, clean air, masking, things like that, especially if it's a disability focused event. And so from then, we have seen so many organizations having mass events, having virtual events that talk about these issues, finding ways to give people masks for free, giving tests for free, educating people on accessibility, especially for Pride Month. And so we're like, whoa, it's a movement. And now we get to be part of that. And so now we feel like less alone. And feel like we've actually found our niche, which is disability, and our peeps. Yeah, that we have realized that disability is not only a major part of our mission, it always has, but specifically those who are being left behind because they have invisible illnesses. So that's kind of what we're doing. And we're hoping that we get more stories. We're working on it. Everything's on our site, Black and Still COVIDing. It's a page on our site. It's on our Instagram, and people could view the slideshow and our call to action and things like that on our site and see what's going on. And we hope to eventually turn it into a little video series, and